Take a deep breath. Do you smell that? That is the most seductive scent on earth. Fresh leather, pristine plastic. We call it new car smell. It is the perfume of the American dream. But let me tell you the brutal truth your brain is ignoring. That is not the scent of success. That is the smell of industrial glue. And more importantly, it is the smell of your future wealth burning away. Look at your hands on the wheel. You feel powerful, right? You hit the gas. The engine purrs, you pull up to a red light and glance at the car next to you. A 10-year-old Honda. Paint peeling. You look at that driver with a mix of pity and pride. You think, I made it. I am doing better than him. But wake up. That guy in the beat-up Honda. He bought that car with cash 5 years ago. He doesn't owe a dime. He sleeps like a baby. And you don't own this car. The bank does. You are just a glorified renter paying predatory interest to impress strangers who don't care about you. You didn't buy a vehicle. You signed an 84-month debt sentence. Why do we do this? Why do smart people volunteer for this trap? Because we have been brainwashed into a crazy paradox. To look rich, you have to become poor. The dealership didn't sell you 4 wheels. They sold you anesthesia for your ego. They sold you an illusion. But the price tag isn't just $50,000. I am not here to lecture you on morality. I am here to use math, the coldest language in the universe, to prove that driving this car today could steal $5 million from your retirement. You heard me, $5 million. Are you willing to burn $5 million just to smell that industrial glue? Welcome to Longview Invests. Today we are going to dismantle the illusion of the car industry and build a real financial fortress. Buckle up. This ride is about to get bumpy. Welcome to the Lion's Den, or as you call it, the car dealership. Notice the environment. The lights are bright. The coffee is free. The balloons are festive. It feels like a celebration. But make no mistake, this is a casino and the house always wins. You walk in guard down, and the salesperson asks you the most dangerous question in the history of personal finance. He does not ask, what is the total price you want to pay? No, he smiles and asks, how much do you want to pay per month? Stop. If you answer that question, you have already lost. This is called the monthly payment trap. It is a psychological magic trick designed to short-circuit your logical brain. Here is how they pick your pocket without you even feeling it. Let's say you tell him, I can afford $500 a month. Honest math says that buys you a $25,000 sedan. But the dealer, he needs to move that $40,000 luxury SUV sitting on the lot. So, how does he bridge that $15,000 gap? Does he give you a discount? Of course not. He manipulates time. He extends your loan from a standard 60 months to 84 months. Maybe even 96. He lowers the monthly payment to hit your target, but he increases your sentence. Suddenly, that expensive car fits into your monthly budget. You think you won. You think you got a deal. In reality, you just agreed to pay double the interest. You are paying luxury prices for a depreciating asset that will be worth half its value before you even pay it off. They hide the total price. They hide the interest rate. They focus your eyes on that one small, monthly number because they know that is the only number your brain can process in the heat of the moment. It is not a purchase. It is a shell game, and you are not the player, you are the mark. So, you signed the papers, you took the keys. You feel like a winner. But here is the physics of finance that the salesman conveniently forgot to mention. The moment, the exact second your rear tires leave the dealership driveway and touch public asphalt, your net worth crashes. We call this depreciation. I call it lighting money on fire. Statistics show that a new car loses about 10% of its value in the first minute of ownership. It loses 20% in the first year. By year 5, that $60,000 machine is worth barely $25,000. Think about that. Imagine if your house lost half its value in 5 years. Imagine if your stock portfolio crashed by 50%. You would panic. You would scream. You would sell everything. But with a car, you wash it on Sundays. You polish the rims. You pretend it is an investment. You are lying to yourself. You are not driving an asset. You are driving a giant block of ice across the Sahara Desert. It is melting with every mile. It is evaporating with every month. And remember that long 84-month loan we talked about. Here is where the trap snaps shut. Because the car is losing value faster than you are paying off the loan, you enter the danger zone called negative equity. You owe $30,000 on a car that is only worth $20,000. You are underwater. You are trapped in a metal cage that you do not own, paying for a value that no longer exists. But the real tragedy isn't the money you lost. The real tragedy is the fortune you didn't make. Let's do the math that will make you sick to your stomach. Now, stop listening to your feelings. Let's look at the cold, hard math. Most people say, it is just a car payment. It is just $700 a month. I can afford it. Can you? Let's look at the opportunity cost. This is the price you pay for not investing that money. The average new car payment in America is now over $700. Add in full coverage insurance. Add in the gas for that heavy SUV. We are talking about $1,000 a month leaving your pocket. Now imagine a parallel universe. In this universe, you drive a $5,000 beater. It's ugly. It has a dent. Your neighbors don't care about it. But you take that $1,000 every single month, and instead of giving it to the bank, you invest it in the S&P 500, the boring index fund. You do this for 40 years, from age 25 to age 65. What happens? The first year you have $12,000. Boring. The 10th year you have $200,000. Okay. But then, compound interest kicks in like a jet engine. By year 30 you have nearly $2 million. And by year 40, do you want to know the number $5,300,000? Look at that number again. That isn't just money. That is freedom. That is your beach house. That is generational wealth for your grandchildren. You didn't just buy a Ford F-150. You traded a $5 million fortune for a depreciating pile of metal that will be in a junkyard in 15 years. You aren't driving a truck. You are driving your retirement. You are driving your children's inheritance straight off a cliff. Every time you turn that key, you are burning millions. Is the leather seat worth it? Is the sunroof worth it? Is the validation of strangers worth $5 million? Because that is the real price tag. And the dealership, they never showed you that sticker. Now let's expose the dirty little secret of the banking industry. Decades ago, a car loan was 36 months, 3 years short. Painful honest, then it became 48, then 60. But today we have entered the era of the 84-month loan, 7 years. Why did they do this? Did they want to help you? No. They did it because cars got too expensive for the average salary, but instead of lowering prices, they just stretched the debt. They call it affordability. I call it a prison sentence. Think about where you were 7 years ago. You were a different person. Now imagine paying for a hamburger you ate 7 years ago. Today, that is exactly what an 84-month loan is. Here is the nightmare scenario. By year 5 or 6, your car is tired. The warranty is gone. The transmission is slipping. The air conditioner is broken. The check engine light is mocking you. You want to sell it. You need to sell it. But you can't. Because you still owe $15,000 to the bank, but the car is only worth $8,000. You are trapped in a zombie loan. You are paying for a dead asset. You are writing a check every single month for a machine that you hate. A machine that is actively costing you more money in repairs. You are not driving that car anymore. That car is driving you, and the bank loves it. Because on a 7-year loan, you are not just paying for the car. You are paying thousands of dollars in extra interest. You are buying the banker a nice vacation to Hawaii, while you are stuck on the side of the road waiting for a tow truck. This isn't financing. This is financial suicide in slow motion. This leads us to the most terrifying place in personal finance. We call it negative equity, or as the bankers call it, being underwater. This is the mathematical black hole where most Americans die financially. Imagine this scenario. It is year 4, you are tired of your car, you want that new model. You go to the dealership to trade it in. The dealer looks at your car and says, "Great news. We can give you $15,000 for your trade-in," but you look at your loan balance. You still owe $20,000. You are short $5,000. You don't have $5,000 in cash. You panic. But the dealer, he smiles his shark smile and says, "No problem. We will just roll that $5,000 into your new loan run." Do not sign that paper. If you do that, you are committing financial suicide. You are now taking a loan for a $30,000 car, plus the $5,000 from the ghost of your old car. You are now paying interest on 2 cars, but you are only driving one. This is how people end up owing $50,000 on a Kia that is only worth $20,000. This is not debt. This is financial quicksand. The more you move, the deeper you sink. Eventually, the water rises above your head. You can't sell the car. You can't fix the car. You are drowning in a metal box of your own making. And the bank, they are just watching from the shore, counting their interest. Let's be brutally honest. You didn't buy that $40,000 truck because you need to haul lumber. You work in an office. You didn't buy that luxury Satan because of its safety rating. A Camry has the same rating. You bought it for one reason: status. We live in a society where we spend money we don't have, to buy things we don't need, to impress people we don't even like. This is the ego trap. You think that when you pull up in a bimini, people will respect you. You think they will look at you and say, "Wow, he is successful." But here is the irony. Psychology calls it the man in the car paradox. When you see a guy driving a Ferrari, you don't think, "That guy is cool." You think, "I would look cool in that Ferrari." You don't care about him. You don't even see him. You only see the object. You are paying $600 a month to be a prop in someone else's daydream. And here is the secret that wealthy people know but broke people ignore. Real wealth is invisible. Real wealth is the money you do not spend. It is the car you didn't buy. It is the diamonds you didn't wear. Look at the billionaires. Mark Zuckerberg drives a Honda Fit. Warren Buffett drove the same Cadillac for a decade. Why? Because they are not trying to prove they are rich. They are rich. Only the insecure middle class feels the need to wear their net worth on their sleeve. Or in this case, on their driveway. So ask yourself, do you want to look rich to your neighbors? Or do you want to actually be rich in your bank account? Because you cannot do both, so what is the solution? Do you walk to work? Do you ride a bicycle in the rain? No. You need a car. But you need to buy it like a wealthy person, not a broke person. Rule number 1. Let someone else take the hit. Never buying a brand new car is the easiest way to become a millionaire. Let the first owner pay for the new car smell. Let them lose the 20% depreciation in year 1. Let them cry over the first scratch. You buy the sweet spot. A 3 or 4-year-old car, it drives the same. It has Bluetooth. It has heated seats, but it costs half the price. You get 90% of the car for 50% of the money. That is called value investing. Rule number 2. The 23-8 rule. If you must finance a car because you don't have cash yet, follow this strict mathematical formula. If you cannot fit your loan into this box, you cannot afford the car. 20% down. This prevents you from ever being underwater. 3 years max, not 6, not 7, 3. If you can't pay it off in 36 months, you are buying too much car. 8% of your income. Your total car payment should never exceed 8% of your monthly take-home pay. Most people break all 3 rules. They put 0 down. They finance for 7 years. They spend 20% of their paycheck, and that is why they stay poor. And finally, the ultimate goal, the paid-off car. There is no feature on a BMW, not the horsepower, not the leather, not the badge that feels as good as. No monthly payment. Imagine your life right now without that $700 drain on your account. Imagine that money staying in your pocket. Imagine it growing in the stock market. That old Toyota in your driveway isn't ugly, it is beautiful, because it represents your freedom. It is a trophy that says, "I beat the system." So stop trying to look rich. Start getting free. The system is designed to keep you broke. Wall Street, the big banks, and the auto industry, they are all counting on your ego to fund their empires. They want you focused on the shiny paint. They want you obsessed with the monthly payment. They want you trapped in the cage. But today, you have a choice. You can drive off the lot in a brand new, depreciating liability and look like a millionaire to people you don't even know. Or you can drive a boring, paid-off car straight to the bank. If this video made you uncomfortable, good. That means the anesthesia is wearing off. That means you are finally waking up to the math. If you are tired of the mainstream financial lies that only make the banks richer, you are in the right place. Help me expose this trap. Hit the like button right now so the algorithm shows this to someone who desperately needs to hear it. Subscribe to Longview Invests and turn on the bell. We don't do financial fluff here. We do brutal mathematical truth. And do me a favor. Share this video with that one friend. You know exactly who I am talking about. The one who is about to go sign an 84-month loan tomorrow. You might just save them $5 million. Stop keeping up with the Joneses. The Joneses are broke. Build your fortress. Protect your harvest. I will see you in the next video.